Well, a big warm welcome to the Ostrava Arena here in Ostrava, the Czech Republic. We're on day number 3 of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships of 2019, and we're up to game number 2 of this third day. And we're delighted to have you all with us. My name's Alan March, alongside me is Paul Rosie Rosen, and it's time to concentrate on Group A. Group B this morning gave us an entertaining start to the day. Well, towards the end of it did. We're not expecting this one to be tight. Paul, you think that Canada will run out quite comfortable here and pick up their second W of the tournament?
Yeah, I do, Alan. The first game was quite exciting at the end, especially first shootout of the tournament. But Canada, like they did against Norway, this is their time to move the puck around, get all the guys in sync. Dominic Larocque is starting in goal today. He played in the first game against the USA, and he played fantastic. Despite the fact 2 goals went by him, the third was an empty net goal. He was incredible. So let's see what happens today. I think you're going to get a big performance out of the big names, the Westlakes, the McGregors, Cosolinos. Liam Hickey has played fantastic this tournament. I think Korea's they're getting better. They really are. They're a little out of their element, but they are getting better. Their big goalie is starting tonight. I played against him once. The only time I played against Korea, he played, and he played quite well. So we'll see what happens.
He certainly is big. Yu Man Yun, number 31, certainly fills a lot of the goal. So 1:30 away from getting started here, and whilst we don't like to discount anybody, Paul's opinion is that the Koreans here would have to come up with something miraculous. But that is what sport is all about. We love the possibility of a shock. We love watching sport for the mishaps. This really would be a mishap. The Koreans, though, Paul, recognised as the 3rd best nation in this sport at the moment. The World Championship bronze is theirs. The home Paralympic bronze is theirs. At some point, that gap has to close somewhere, doesn't it, between 3rd and 2nd?
You would think it's still the Canadians and the Americans are on just a little higher of a plane. They practice a little more. It's tough for the Koreans to come up. I honestly think, and we've talked about this off air and at the hotel, I think Korea is going to be tight to get the bronze this year. I'm going with the host nation, Czech Republic team. I think they have been incredible. I think they're going to win the bronze, but that's just my feelings. And as for upsets, like you said, there can be upsets. I know it firsthand. The semi-final game in Vancouver in 2010, we lost to Japan. Probably the only time we'll ever lose to Japan, so it could happen.
The referee for this one, United States, Andrew Bettman. The linesman, one from the US as well, Brendan Lewis and Jan Vanik of the Czech Republic is involved in this one as well. No Corbin Smith or Kevin Sorley in the lineups. In fact, there are two not dressed for the Koreans as well, as Lavin goes early. That one spirals away, and how that hasn't gone in, I'm not entirely sure. Flicked backwards by McGregor.
Westlake cert, big action there, and Westlake got absolutely jammed into the post. He's still trying to get out. He's a tough kid, so he's going to work hard, but he got hit pretty hard.
Two for Korea are Lee Jun-young and Kim In-kyum, who haven't been included in today's action. Don't forget, if you are watching on the Facebook page, hello to wherever you're watching from. Olivia says, go Korea. Zach is back, and that's a big hit as well.
And there is going to be a lot of contact in this game. The Canadians and the Koreans. Oh, Billy Bridges! Welcome to the Czech Republic there.
Jung Seung Hwan involved, and that's potentially the best two players from either side. That coming together. Roderick Crane. Oh, that's given away. Cozzolino picks up the pieces on the defensive blue line and starts to move. Can he find somebody in space? Yes, he can, and that man is Bridges. Bridges pinned up against the board. 14, Jung Seung Hwan wants a piece of the second act with Bridges. Down this near side it comes then. Korea happy to dump it long.
Wow, they did it again to us, the Koreans. They did it again to us. In goal is number 32. 31 took all the warm-up. 31 was the one that started, and they switched off. Got off and got his bat off.
Very unconventional indeed.
Sneaky devils.
Henry round the boards. McGregor thought it was quicker than it was, and he eventually gets caught up. And there's a little bit of afters there that the officials haven't seen, and oh, that's nearly spilt. But Lee Jae-won, the 23-year-old, a man who has cerebral palsy. That's his impairment. Made a debut back in 2015, part of both the bronze medal winning Tides. There's a look at the Korean bench.
Tyler McGregor with a chance there. We've got Greg Westlake taking the draw.
Koreans just about won that. Potential glove pass, but nobody could see that close in, and that's Hickey. Nicely done.
Oh, that's got, no, he didn't call the T-bone there. McGregor sent flying in the air.
Well, Korea have come out with the intention of stifling Canada. 14-2 victors in their second game after the opening defeat against the United States. The intentions were there to score goals, and they did it in a big way. But here, the Koreans are meaning every hit at the moment. Every check has got meaning. And the Koreans know that if they're going to cause a surprise, they've got to be disciplined too. And they nearly allowed Lavin in. McGregor on the far side wants it, but turning away is Hickey.
There's been more bone-crushing hits in the first 5 minutes of this, 4 minutes of this game than there was in the entire Swedish game.
These two have got a roster enough.
Oh, watch this one.
Coming across again, you hear the thud of the boards, but that's the front end of the sled that's hitting and then sliding in underneath and pushing it forward. And this is a chance. Again, the speedster, Jung Seung Hwan, goes straight for the target. No messing about. Why wait? And he is being a real nuisance here, Jung.
Definitely.
On this near side, the Koreans have got it. Jung,
oh,
that's neat. Well, that nearly caught the goalie off guard. Lerotte was sliding to his right, and the faintest of touches from Jung Seung Hwan sent it back the other way. Canada with a chance now. This is Dunn.
Dunn's first action of the tournament.
Just have to wait a little while, and Dunn trying to go round the net.
Whistle on the action.
Well, the first pause of the game. No score just yet here in Group A. Yeah, keep those messages coming in. Chuck rooting for the boys from the north. Go Canada. I feel sorry for Zach. He stayed up just to watch Corbin Smith, who isn't even dressed. So there you go. Don't laugh at Zach.
Sorry, Zach.
There you go. That's away and up the ice.
I'll have to talk to Coach Babby about that, Zach. Tell him you're upset.
Armstrong into the neutral zone. Cozzolino darting back across the blue line, but he can't get back in time, so that's an offside called in the favour of Korea. It's an interesting start. Korea have clearly come out to stifle and to hold and to get right in the faces of these very talented Canadians.
And that's the only way Korea is going to stay even for a long time, is to play as tough as they possibly can and to bottle up the front. Let the Canadians go out to the far end.
We just saw a side of Coach Babby with a notepad. Do you think it says "Don't get hit"?
Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt at least. Yeah. Hickey. That goes all the way around. Bridges trying to get through a gap that wasn't really there, but then it's given away on the far side as well. This is Choi Siwoo, who scored in the opening game.
And you see how strong Bridges is. The Korean got the better of the hit, and the Korean went down, and Bridges was still standing.
There are hits all over the place here. Oh, into the side. And Korea will come away with it. Another hit from Cozzolino this time. Now it comes to Crane. He's just looking around to see where he wants to go, but the action all the way back behind the Canadian net. So a few changes. Certainly for the Koreans. 9 is Choi on the far side. Oh! Blink and you'll miss it. Captain's honor.
Captain Canada, Tyler McGregor. First tournament wearing the C. Nice play. Leaks it out to the right side. I don't know how that went in. I think the goalie gave him way too much. Wow, that cannot go in. If the Koreans want to stay with Canada, that's an easy stop. Their number one goalie was in net at the beginning, and then he switched off. They went with the number 2 to start, tried to fool me. And wow, he would have stopped that easily. I cannot believe, Alan, that went in. You cannot give Canada any chances, and I think they're going to open the door right now.
Well, a hat-trick in the last game for the captain. And he gets them underway inside 9 minutes. Still to go. Canada lead 1-0. Chance for Kyung. He really hasn't had many opportunities to utilize his pace, not only in this, but in any of the 2 games we saw beforehand as well.
Oh,
big hit again. That's Choi Kwang-hyuk. They're not afraid to mix it up with the Canadians. McGregor might want to just hold on for a second, and here's a chance. This is what Korea will be waiting for each time, but there's nobody. Absolutely big line change, except the man who had the puck, and I don't think he realised that everybody else had gone, and by the time he spun around, it was far, far too late.
No, he was looking for somebody to pass to, and the team had bailed out on him.
They might get a chance here from range. That is, well, it's closer to our hotel than it was to the goal.
No, that might have scored if this game was American football.
The up and under trick, eh? Round the boards it goes. The chase is on. Who gets there first? Not Choi Si-woo, that's a fact. Captain trying to mix it up.
Oh! Riley with a forearm shiver.
Jang Hong-ho, the captain out there at the moment. He's coming across to put a block in as that one whistles by. Another big hit. Well, the Koreans have set their stall out to try and intimidate the Canadians. That's going to take a lot more than that, but as you would say, Babby will be thinking, okay, I don't mind them getting hit, but got to try and avoid any injuries. This will take a lot out of the Koreans, though, this style, as Jung collides with Garrett Riley a little late. Nothing to disturb the referee. And now another chance for Korea maybe to try and steal it in the bottom right corner. They have done. Oh no, it's stuck against the corner. Third Canadian. When you're in trouble already and there's two of them, a third comes across. He's done well to push that right across the goal in the end.
Absolutely, and there's been a ton of contact so far, and it might not hurt so much for Canada, which probably will get the day off tomorrow, but the Koreans will have to play a huge game tomorrow to get into the semifinal from the quarters, and all this contact could hurt them.
We say that, the top two go through. America have already guaranteed that by winning twice already against both of these sides here, and they will have a gentle afternoon, it would seem, against the Norwegians, who also will probably take it quite lightly, knowing that they've got a bigger quarter-final contest to come tomorrow as well. So that could be an interesting one later. This one is fired across and out of danger. But here, if Korea can cause an upset, it means that they're the ones who will get the day off, and Canada will have to do it from the quarter-finals. But the likelihood is that won't happen. Canada leading 1-0 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the period.
Yeah, and then Korea will more than likely have to play the winner of the game tonight. Pardon me, the loser of the game tonight. The loser of the game tonight.
Coach Park Hyun-wook looking on a moment ago, and it's one thing devising a plan to stop Canada when you've then conceded. It's the plan, as the goalie does well to cover that. It's then the plan to get one back against Canada. That's the next tricky task.
Well, it's going to be tough because they don't have a lot of guys who are pure goal scorers, and Larocque is, in my opinion, one of the best goalies in the world. So I think it might be tough here.
Canada are 1-0 to the good. We're back in a moment. Alongside me is a card holder for the Goalies Union, and you weren't impressed with that opening goal from a Korean perspective.
No, that can't go in. When you're playing against the Canada, United States, you cannot give them cheap goals because they're going to score their nice goals. You got to stop the ones that are stoppable. The ones that aren't stoppable, what can you do? But that definitely was stoppable.
Armstrong taking a hit at the goal frame for no apparent reason a moment ago, and this one is underneath the sleds, and
Bridges just
panic ensues, and can he get across to make it number 2? He's got to try and lift it
off the post.
How does that stay out? Whipped away. Be great to see a replay of that later, because how does that stay out?
Bridges was going at it like a pitchfork in a rural farm.
Near side, this is great pace, great pace. Hickey, that's superb. One late touch on him, and then the goalie saves, and then all manner of mayhem. Only 2 players aren't involved in the traffic jam in front of Lee Jae-woong's goal. It eventually squirmed in, but unfortunately the whistle had already gone.
It hit his back.
Look at that.
The number 10,
Seokyong Lee.
Yeah, he stopped it.
He might have a bruise on the lower part of his back, but he won't care because he's kept it out.
No, and that should have been a penalty there. When 28 jammed into Liam Hickey's sled.
Certainly took the momentum away. Now, Gemmell turned his back there, and that has allowed Lee to come racing forward. He's gone for the drop back. Let's push them forward behind the net. And Lee can challenge, and that's excellent work from the captain once again. McGregor spinning like a waltzer and getting it clear.
Westlake moving up.
Good drive from Westlake, who can keep pace. Nobody initially, but they get back in numbers. They're certainly hunting in packs here. Our career, and another chance at the other end then.
They're looking for that stretch pass.
Oh, that's a poor decision on the pass, and then a couple of people changing as well. Might get caught short at the back. No, Korea back up to full strength. And it's resolute, isn't it? And again, the changes are coming. Choi Si-woo back on the ice. This one will go around the back of the Korean goal, and they've allowed Westlake to get there first. That's a crazy decision. They had 2 players there, Korea, that really ought to have just gone and got that puck. And all of a sudden, Westlake was thinking, hang on, I've got this.
Yeah, one of them just watched the play.
Slides into centre ice, and they'll push this into the neutral zone for the chase for Choi. As I said, got one of the goals and an assist against the Norwegians. But this is a different kettle of fish altogether in Canada.
Canadians, they are too fast to fall for the stretch pass.
Out to this left side with Lahu. Got a brace in the last game. Started us off, did Lahu. And had an overall very good game.
Yeah, beautiful deflection on the first goal.
25-year-old from Thetford Mines in Quebec.
He's featured in a really nice commercial in Canada, TV commercial.
Acting career when he's finished then, eh?
He didn't really say anything, but it was
quite his
good.
Big moment.
Sorry, it was a Canadian Tire commercial, I can say that. Well, I already did, so.
I think as long as you don't name the brand, we're probably all right. Jung just gets it away, dumping it up the ice, and that calls a halt to proceedings with 2:34 on the clock. Canada 1-0 to the good, but that's not maybe as many as they would have liked. They were 6-0 after the first period in the last game. They then took the second period by 7-1. It was only the third period they struggled for goals against Norway. The tenacity and determination of the Koreans here, certainly a big factor.
And the fact that that goal shouldn't have even gone in.
Well, there's that as well. This probably should be all square at 0, as Paul is rightly saying, but at least at 1, you know you're still in this. Cozzolino trying to make space. We know that the man here, Bridges, can strike from distance, and he's just took his eye off the puck long enough for it to slip away from his stick, and he'll be furious with himself for that one, Paul.
Yeah, he was looking for the top corner. He was counting the goal already, as he has an absolute cannon shot.
Yeah, no point looking past the goalie until you've hit it. Is this a chance for the Koreans? Jung. Now he will chase this.
Basically by himself though, Alan.
Well, he won't mind if he gets there, and he's got to the first one. He won't outpace Armstrong as well. The 22-year-old from Ottawa gets there and gets the Canadians going again. Hickey looking for some support. That one's peeled away back behind the blue line, and McGregor will help them to start again. Good clearing attempt from the Koreans. Hickey again, it is turning and starting to come.
Nice move by Hickey.
So assured, isn't he? Liam Hickey, just 21 years of age. There's some longevity in some of these names for the Canadians, you would imagine, in this roster. Lavin, chance for him. Oh! And that is another mistake. Goalie sliding out of the way, and then all of a sudden just couldn't turn his body to get back across.
You know what? You have to. It's got to be heartbreaking for the players. The forwards and the defensemen have played phenomenal in the first period here. Westlake throws it over to Lavin, and he, oh my God, how do you,
It's so nothing.
Wow.
Oh me.
Wow.
Oh me, oh my. That
He's
is a disaster for the Koreans.
He's gone too far. Wow. I'm going to hold back what I want to say, Alan.
He's barely touched it.
Wow. Wow. It should be 0-0 right now. Honestly, the Koreans, the forwards and D have played incredible. The coaching staff should be happy. They bottled up the Canadians. 2 chances that should have been easy saves by the goaltender. Both went in for a 2-0 lead. That's embarrassing.
I am telling you now that Zach Lavin has hit the breakfast buffet harder than he's hit that shot.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And I'm very impressed with that young kid. He's playing real good hockey.
Very, very good stuff from Lavin. Another 22-year-old, this one from Alberta. This is his debut event, of course, for the Canadians. And, well, he's put them 2-0 up with something that, well, you'd give your pillow a fluff with more energy.
Oh, another big hit by Captain Tyler McGregor. The Canadians are really throwing their weight around, Alan.
The Korean feels like he's been on the big wheel. He's still spinning. Good defense this time around, though. Puck's loose. Choi knows where the net is in these world champs, and they're going to need it again. Oh, a surprise one. And at the moment, with Lee Jae-woong being the culprit for both of the goals so far, you can imagine that Coach Babby here, Paul, might just be saying to his guys, shoot on sight. I don't care where you are, you may as well pull the trigger here because he's wobbling.
No, there's no doubt, and I don't understand why they did this. Their number one guy, the big guy, had started the game. They did this crazy switch maybe 30 seconds in. We didn't even see it because he makes those 2 stops in his sleep.
Well,
wow.
It's bad news for the Koreans. They're to come away from being known as the 3rd place team. They've got to find results against the big 2, and at the moment they have almost handed these goals to the Canadians. Larotte getting an assist out to McGregor, who, as Paul was saying, has hit one that realistically Lee Jae-woong would want back. And then following that, Lavin given an opportunity, didn't really take it. It was sort of an outstretched arm from Lavin, but it somehow found his way in. Let's take a look back at the action then, Paul.
Here's McGregor's goal. Wow. Let's get a better look at that. Here's McGregor. He's coming down. He got the puck from Larocque, and he just takes a little shot on goal. And if you put your stick down, just leave your stick down, that's it. It's not going in. Here's the play that Costellino jumped into the net. Get the Korean a little upset. Far side.
There's the second.
Wow.
Well, he barely touches it.
And we'll see that even closer now, Alan. Look at this. He just hits it like it's a second thought to hit it. The goaltender slipped off. I don't know where he was.
Well, there was also the incident, I suppose, where it came off the back of one of the Koreans and went right across the goal, which was an empty net at the time because Lee Jae-woong had gone out of his net. So the 2 they've got, it could have been 3 or 4. It's resolute from Korea, but if you're going to make mistakes at the back, you're going to get caught out by teams such as Canada. It's 2-0 We'll be back with you in the second period. So welcome back to the coverage of these World Para Ice Hockey Championships 2019. Don't forget, if you're watching this on the World Para Ice Hockey Facebook page, then please do drop us a note. We'll talk to you throughout the game. If you've got any questions for Paul, Rosie, Rosen, then by all means just ask away. A goalkeeper or netminder extraordinaire alongside me. He is... well, we'll come to him in a second because he's got a couple of things to say about Lee Jae-woong. But we're going to go to the other end first, Paul. Dominic Larocque, I think the only thing he might have done is started thinking about anything else other than hockey during that first period.
No, I've been in a couple of those games, and you start thinking about relatives at home, you start singing songs. I sang some really good renditions of Aerosmith songs.
What shall I have for dinner? That sort of thing.
Yeah, everything but hockey, because you rarely get a shot.
But you have to stay alert.
Oh, no. You're watching the game, but you're just watching it in a different way.
At the other end of the ice, the issue that Korea have caused themselves is that Lee Jae-woong, that second one, more so perhaps than the first one, he's just gone wandering across his crease.
Now, there's only one word for both of those goals, and that's brutal. In any language you want to say it, it's absolutely brutal. If you want to take me to task on it, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. Both of those goals have to be stopped. The second was worse. Both of them were terrible. especially when your team is playing so hard and they're giving it everything they got against a great Canadian team. You can't give up goals against Canada, because there might be one that Bridges drips under the bar. You just got to bow to him. Great goal. But this game right now should be 2-0, and the goalie knows it better than anybody, because when I let a bad one in, there wasn't anybody that to tell me. I knew I let a bad one in.
Also, if you want to tell us where you're watching from, it's always good to know the people who look after all of the social media for the World Para Ice Hockey. In fact, all of the Paralympic sports that are governed by the IPC. We love to know where people are watching all of these live streams from. A lot of time, money and effort goes into being able to broadcast para sport now. You know, it's something that happens. You can pretty much watch a para sport every month of the year throughout 2019, if my memory serves me rightly. I know that because I'm at some of them, a lot of them. So do keep sending in your messages. It's like people like Zach, who's been awake since the last game. He's watching for Canada, and the only company he's got is his cat. Anyway, back to the game. So 2-0 for Canada over Korea, and there are the faces of people that, like Paul said, no, they shouldn't be 2 goals in deficit. It should all be square, but it's not, and them's the breaks.
No, and it's not, and giving Canada that break could be the chance for them to get 5 or 6 this period and be up 7 or 8-0 at the end of the second.
As I mentioned in the first game, or sorry, the second game, where they overhauled Norway, they scored 6 in the first period. They then went on to score 7 in the second, Canada. That was rather brave from Hickey to just let that go for Lavin, but it's come off. He's got his captain to one side. Behind him, he's got Henry, who's took the brunt of Choi. But Lavin will get to that. It's a little bit slow from the captain, Jang Jong-ho, and they might regret this. Lavin, oh, it slipped away from his control and just rammed down the neck of the ice.
Yeah, you know what, I keep saying it, Lavin, I'm very impressed with him. He's come a long ways. How old is he? He's a youngster.
Lavin is just 22.
22 years old. I can't even remember 22. He's played well. Billy Bridges taking the draw, and Billy's playing this tournament with a heavy heart. I said to everyone, Billy's mom Mary died last week. All condolences to the Bridges family in PEI and in Mississauga.
Choi down this left wing. Oh, he's hit the board very hard, and he was almost upside down when he did it.
That was quite a hit.
Might have to replace some of the wording on that sponsor board. Chance here. Cozzolino's done well. Oh, he's tried to pick out the top corner.
I think he would have better to just slip it on net.
Choi Kwang-hyuk not pulling out anything there. Full tilt into his check.
Yeah, he leaked it out of the blue line, but it hit Liam Hickey's sled, bounced back in, and he trapped one of the Canadians inside the zone. There was like 5 of them there, 4 of them there anyways. And I can guarantee you they weren't talking about what their plans were the rest of the tournament.
Nobody's swapping Twitter handles out there, that's for sure. Nice, good play from Lahu. Another that we've been very impressed with coming into this Canada lineup. The Koreans have started. Oh. That is sensational.
Spinorama.
What a spin that is from Hickey. Beautiful stuff. 21-year-old turning it on, but can they add a couple more goals to the column? Rather leading with the sled there was Lee Jong-kyung. Oh, another one that's in more danger of breaking the glass than it is of nestling behind Lee Jae-woong.
And the one thing that might surprise people is the way these guys can shoot. Back in the day, you had 1 or 2 guys a team. Now every single player can fire it with his right hand and his left hand, and that's all due to training and practice. They practice and train all the time.
Korea needed 2 attempts to get that away. He didn't get any further than the blue line. McGregor, neat control, stays left wing. A few changes for the Canadians as McGregor just buys time. Oh, that's beautiful. Under the sled, Westlake. Oh, just wide of the right-hand side. Goalie manoeuvring himself back across neatly and shutting the door before McGregor could get there. Over the blue line it goes, though. Koreans chasing, trying to put some pressure on McGregor, and Jung forces McGregor to turn and get it away. Drop back for Westlake. Nice angle ball to Lavin. This is neat. That wasn't so much. And now here's a chance for Choi. Choi versus Gemmell. Choi might have the edge here. He's got there on the right wing, but Gemmell clatters him.
Good hustle by James Gemmell.
Wasn't intimidated at all. He's a big fella, is Choi Siwoo. And James Gemmell, 38-year-old, got across and dealt with it neatly. Some nice stick play, pushing it into the corner for the captain, who doesn't look like he's blessed with pace, as Yang Yong-ho.
Canada's getting a penalty here. I don't know if you know this, but James Gemmell was born on my birthday. And I can say him on mine as opposed to mine on his because I've got like 25 years on him. But he was born on April 26th. He had his birthday while he was here. Nothing like a birthday in the Czech Republic. Although he probably had a nice thing with the team and that. My birthday I spent in my room. You wouldn't even have dinner with me.
It's Lena Schroeder's birthday tomorrow. She's part of the Norwegian team coming up in the next game as well. So there you go. It's birthdays all around. All around, Levin at the moment is a penalty box. That's where he's trapped.
Yeah, and now I honestly think the Canadians, they have a chance now to work on their penalty kill. They play a very high-powered penalty kill like the Americans do. They never hold back. They're always looking for a goal. And the Americans and the Canadians, a lot of shorthanded goals, so I would not be surprised if they're going to get some really good chances here. Now, they are starting in their own end, but the Canadians will go heavy. They're putting out Billy Bridges, Dom Cossolino, Liam Hickey, and Henry.
Could backfire because 2-0 is one of the worst leads you can have.
Definitely, 100%. It is probably the worst lead you could have.
And a man down here. And whilst you're saying yes, they'll probably go for quite a high press and a high-octane penalty kill. Get it wrong, and all of a sudden, the Koreans will have their gander will be up. That'll be offside.
Oh no, he's giving him a penalty there.
Oh, Cossolino, that's going to be for roughing. I tell you what was brilliant. Let's go back just a stage here. Lee Jong-kyung was the one who was offside, and it wasn't because he wanted to be. It was because the Canadians just sandwiched him in and took him over the line, and he was so disappointed. But then for Cossolino to wallop into. I think it was Jong.
I hope we get to see that again because that was a total accident. As he came across the blue line, you can't stop in these sleds like you can on skates.
And now, like we said, possibilities for Korea. They have got to get the puck early. They've got to get it forward quickly. Yeah. And they've got 1.5 minutes here against 3 red jerseys. Westlake is going to do the high press, but not much. Oh, that's nearly terrible, and it doesn't work. Well, just make an accurate pass in that scenario.
Yeah, but you're going to have to be really careful, too, here on a 5-on-3. It's very difficult, especially in sled hockey. But you got Westlake, who's playing a very aggressive top push. Tyler McGregor, who's an incredible player up and back. And Liam Hickey was a forward all his career and now has dropped back to defense. So this could be trouble on the Koreans if they don't watch it.
Well, at the moment, they haven't found any remote accuracy. And over the line goes Kim Young-sung.
Wow. What he did there is they let, that I blame on the guy on the door. He let the guy out, and the doors here, the inside doors are on the inside of the blue line, and he let the player out from the inside of the blue line. Yeah, we just showed the, I don't know. They called the penalty. They called the penalty. I can't do nothing about it.
43 seconds remaining of one of the penalties, and over a minute for the second. And Korea so far have offered nothing during this penalty. That might give them an opportunity, though. The block. Choi is chasing Armstrong, and Choi is clattering Armstrong first, and then he's joined in that party by Lee.
And that's what you have to do.
Yep.
That was real good speed by the two Koreans. It's a 5-on-3. So for all of you watching there, one guy takes him. If there's not another guy to come in and help him out, there's only 3 Canadians. You have 5. Jam 2 of them on the Canadian in the corner with the puck. Pull the puck out. If not, you're going to get a draw, a whistle like they do now. Now, Billy Bridges is one of the best face-off guys in the world, so he's a good chance he's going to win this one.
Well, immediately sent away is Jang Jong-ho.
Bridges wins it
does
again.
Indeed win it, yeah. Hickey. Again, Canada got to see out another 20 seconds. Bridges has lost it.
Now that's trouble.
This is a chance. They're inside the blue line. It's where they want to be, and Bridges.
Now that could have been a penalty, and I would have been okay with it.
Wow, happy birthday. Never mind a card, here's a shoulder.
Wow.
One at least back on the ice. 20 seconds and they'll be up to full strength. The number 12 still going here. He's rather flapping at the puck, and this is going to be trouble. Look at the speed of Hickey onto his left. He's been put off a little bit. That is a remarkable finish. Well, Liam Hickey has introduced himself to the world quite nicely indeed over the last couple of years, and that's another belter.
And I have said for the last couple of years, watch this kid from Newfoundland and Labrador, Liam Hickey. Armstrong leaks it out to Hickey. Hickey beats 2 Koreans. Left hand, right hand, left hand, off the goaltender of Korea. Had no chance on that one. Back to the left, up, over, and in on a 5-on-4. The 4th player just came out, so really 5-on-3.5, we'll say. But Liam Hickey, short-handed, was a forward, went back to D. He's always going to be trouble. Newfoundland and Labrador, the pride of the province.
Well, just 3 seconds left on the penalty, a short angle, and they might just go straight for the net again there. They did with McGregor. Westlake chasing, charging, checking, and now Jung. He has to just hold up a second, and a neat turn from Jung, but he's offered nothing in support. And the 2 Koreans furthest up the ice have gone completely the wrong way. Westlake, Canada just starting to open spaces here. 3-0, 7:40 still remaining. Lavin can't get hold of that one, so moved away by Lee Jong-kyung. It's not good enough, though, not to get past the captain for Canada. Tries to feed it in to Gemmell. Lavin.
Nice play.
McGregor. Into the chest, almost underneath the helmet.
He's called that one. Looked like it caught him just under the helmet. Good shot by the captain. And we talked briefly yesterday about wearing that C for Canada means so much. Todd Nicholson, going way back to Trino days, was the captain. Jean Labonte, one of my favorite players, wore the captaincy in Vancouver. And then Greg Westlake, my former roommate, wore the captaincy in Sochi and in Korea. And now Tyler McGregor is the captain. It's an honor when you put that C on for Canada, Alan.
Looking like being another victory as captain. He will have been smarting from the defeat on the opening day, but all that will be forgotten if the colour of the medal is the same as it was back in 2017. The golden variety is what Canada are here for. Gemmell and Dunn.
Good thing the ref blew it there. It can get very dangerous in those little scrums.
Kim Young-sung was the Korean that had fallen onto his side, and as Paul is saying, lying on the ice is not where you want to be.
Yeah, and I just got a note from number 27, Brad Bowden. Brad played a long time for Canada. He's got a year off right now with a shoulder injury. One of my favorites. Love that kid. Big time, probably one of the fastest players, Alan, ever in the world. Hard to pull him down. And a very nice guy, too, so you could hit him and he wouldn't get mad.
Dunn almost sat on it at the moment. Nobody can get it free. And Dunn himself.
It's stuck under his blades.
It might be wedged, yeah. Eventually works its way out behind the net. And Korea, that was a high pass off the boards and around, but again doesn't get past the blue line. And Korea at times, you feel in this game, have rather led to their own downfall. Passing accuracy, goalie blunders, and some poor decision making just like that. Two players in the change, and as you say, using the door inside the blue line.
Good puck movement there to Lahu.
Good check on Cosolino, but he stays strong, does Cosolino, and he might still work himself a chance for the shot. No, it's underneath his sled for now. Right across to Bridges!
Oh, what a pass. That was a glorious pass, Alan.
Bridges stays goalless in this one for now. To be fair to Billy, he has not had that many clear-cut opportunities to even strike.
But he's let some pretty good passes, and he's some bomb checks. Absolutely incredible checks. Loosen your molars with some of those checks.
Choi catches the bottom of James Gemmell's sled. Bridges here now, feeds it back to Cosolino, who's got past the next one, and then this puck slides, and again, there's the poor decision making. That pass from Choi will do nobody any favours. His captain has had to go and rescue it. He then takes a beating for it, and then he gives it away.
Yeah, they're not doing anything with the puck whatsoever. I don't think it's a game plan that the coach really put together. Oh, that's a high hit to the head.
Well, nothing, not an arm raised.
Wow.
And those two are still chatting, shall we say.
Wow, he's going to lose that battle with Bridges. Bridges is a strong, strong boy.
Oh, Larocque. Remember last time he touched it?
Beautiful, nice pass. Yeah, he got an assist. Nothing better than getting an assist in a game.
Bridges it is. Into Armstrong, who's just seen that squirm away. And that one nearly went in to the Canadian bench.
Whoa, he almost lost it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Canada still need to be cautious. 3:30 remaining in this second period. For Korea here, Paul, it's got to be a goal before the end of the second, hasn't it? That's the only thing they can really hope for now, to give them a fighting chance in the third.
And you know what? Being down 3-0 to Canada, you can take that as a win. And two of the goals being brutal, so they are playing okay.
Sort out their own accuracy and their own decision making. And again, there's another one. Just comes straight back, fizzed in. Delicately handled and neatly handled by Young. Oh, he needs a bit of support here, does Lee Jong-kyung. And
that hurts the sled to the back.
It's getting busy. That's
nice
neat.
play.
Oh, it's just come behind Westlake.
He'll want that back, Westlake.
Well, he scored in both games so far as Westlake.
No communication there.
Yeah, he and Levin almost leaving it to each other. That's neat, though. Levin's got McGregor in space. He's got Westlake through the middle. He's gone short side, and the good glove save Tried to hold it, couldn't. And Hickey keeps it inside the blue line once again. Canada just keep recycling this puck. The movement is good. Westlake's in space. Lavin finds him and Westlake jabs it. Again short side, but again wide. McGregor takes a hit.
Koreans love to use the front of the sled just to tip you over. I did it again. You got a penalty coming now. LaRock will try to come.
Hickey spinning. McGregor going for the roof of the net, it would seem, and Hickey chasing on the far side. They'll keep this puck in play. They'll have an extra body for a second as well. Here comes Riley. Hickey, neat turn. They've still got possession. Will they try and use it? Because if the Koreans get hold, the penalty will be called. He's had his arm up for an awfully long time, the referee. The Canada still have it. Westlake trying to get it into space. Hickey, nice touch. Fired in, deflected, and eventually...
Still can't get it.
Oh, it's into the body of the goalie.
Oh, that was a good 20 seconds. Great movement by LaRock to come all the way. The benches are at the far end in the second period. Come all that way and get the goaltender out. That is just great, absolutely great play.
Riley it was that came on to make the extra body out on the ice. And, a little breather for LaRock as he goes back towards. That's the most he's done in the game. He's actually getting off the ice.
I'll tell you a little story quick. Brad Bowden, who was calling in, and we talked about LaRock's assist. One of the best and assists I'll think for the rest of my life, and Brad's probably chuckling back home in Barrie, is made a stop in overtime off Svetkor Sve from the Norwegian team, threw the puck up to Billy Bridges. Billy hit Brad on a clear-cut breakaway. Brad ripped it under the bar. We beat Norway 1-0 in overtime. That was an incredible moment. So it was Bowden from Bridges and Rosen. And Bowden, if you remember that one, send me a little line. Remember the old days.
Just over a minute remaining in the second period. Just the solo goal to talk about so far. Bridges winding one up. McGregor always rising. Near pipe. Doesn't go for Westlake. Scramble. And that's another good save, to be fair, to Lee Jae-woong. He's quite agile when he wants to be. And he's managed to hold on to that one neatly.
That was a nice one. But look at the power play you have out there. Westlake, Bridges, McGregor, Hickey, and Lavin. That's a pretty good power play.
Still, Jong Dong-shin, the 43-year-old, number 20 for Korea, sitting it out. He'll miss the end of this period. Oh, wide open, and Levin has let it go underneath him. Oh, he'll be gutted. Furious, in fact.
Yeah, he'll want that back. That was an easy goal. Pad your stats.
Number 2 was beckoning for Canada's number 7. As it is, we have less than 30 seconds remaining. McGregor out here. He's checked. The Koreans are looking at the time, wondering, shall I go for this or not? Well, they've got 10 seconds to worry about. That's good defensive work. That's held Westlake up, and that'll pretty much kill this period. Hickey on the blue line spinning, and there goes the hooter for the end of the second period here at this World Para Ice Hockey Championships of 2019. The Ostrava Arena not exactly set on fire with the action here in this game between Canada and Korea, but lots of other aspects you can look at. Defensively, Canada looks so assured. There's nothing going forward for the Koreans. Equally, Paul, from their own points of view, they've got to be more accurate when they do get a chance. 3 or 4 times in that period alone that Canada, you thought, oh, hang on a minute, here come Korea. Oh no, they've just given it straight back to Canada.
I think the toughest play the entire period for goaltender Dominic LaRock was coming from the net to the bench for the attacker. Yeah, not really a lot of action, and I would hope that he would be able to rack up another 0.
McGregor to Hickey was the only score of the second period. Some would say that, as long as you win, it's okay. I think Canada would certainly like a few more in the net before the end of the afternoon. Here come the highlights.
That was Costellino coming down. He's got the corner. He tries to go a little pretty right under the bar and he misses it. This is Hickey. Beautiful play. I think he had the goalie totally fooled that he was going to go right hand, back to the right, and then at the last second back to the left. That's just beautiful. As a former goaltender, that's so hard to stop. It's really difficult, and they didn't have a lot of shots in that one, Alan.
Well, you see just the 1 for Korea, 7 for Canada, and just the 1 goal from either side during this second period. A few penalties smattered amongst them, and that short-handed goal, bit of a knife to the heart of the Koreans, it has to be said. That is the end of the second period. One more period to come in this one. We'll be back with you in a few moments' time. Canada 3, Korea nothing. So welcome back here inside the Ostrava arena. Plenty of action still to come in this one, you would fancy. But more, I would imagine, Paul, Canada going forward.
Yeah, I think what Coach Babby's going to tell them in the second intermission, we can't get sloppy, obviously. You're only up by 3, but realistically, the Koreans have had 2 shots on net the entire game. Both of them were simple shots. Like we said last period, Dominic Larocque's hardest thing that he did in the game so far was skate to the bench for a change. So you want to watch it, but I think it's an opportunity for them now, because they won't play again until the semis, where they'll probably have to play Korea, or I'm going to say the Czechs. I think those two are going to come through, move the puck, try to get some good shots on goal. You had the first 2 that went in that were easy. The third one was a tough one. You're on a power play. You have 50 seconds left in the power play. We see Dominic Larocque. I think he's been one of the best goalies in this tournament, despite the fact Steve Cash has only let 1 in. I think Larocque played better than him in that first game. He just didn't get any luck with those 2 goals. I don't think anyone could have stopped them. We've had a lot of people sending in things. Keep it coming. We'd love to talk to you, answer your questions.
Yeah, we've switched our attentions from the Facebook family that we've had so far in this tournament. We're now looking at this game via the YouTube comments as well. So if you're on watching this on the YouTube page and you want to make a comment, then please do so. Doesn't mean you can't keep commenting on Facebook. I'm very good at flicking between the two. Don't worry about that. Lee Jae-woong, culpable for 2 of them. Nothing really he could do with the third, even though it came off the outside of his blocker. It was just good play. So just wanted to chat quickly about Zach Lavin, debut event. Here's a guy that got lost up in the Rocky Mountains and lost both of his legs due to frostbite, I believe, a couple of fingers as well.
Yep.
Only a couple of years ago, and it takes a big character at such a young age as well. He was only around about 19, 20 when that happened, and the youngster from Alberta is here, and he's now scored 2 in 2 games for his national side. What a good story.
It's a great story. Every one of these kids have an incredible story.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that one is unbelievable because, you know, if I was lost in the woods, I'd still be there. I can guarantee you that.
You can't even find your way out of the hotel car park.
I've had trouble for the first 2 days getting from the hotel to the arena. So, yeah, there you go.
It looks a bit weird because he holds my hand so he doesn't get lost. McGregor spinning just inside the blue line. Ian Bridges into Hickey. McGregor wants it back. Hickey decides to bypass him and find Bridges winding it up. You can almost hear him cranking every time a millimeter of space opens up in front of him.
Good play by the Korean to get his sled in front, though.
Well, they'll have done their homework. They'll know how they want to try, and I'm going to use the word try and stop the Canadians.
Yeah, and they've played each other a lot of times. This is not the first time they've seen Bridges. Oh, where did that come from?
Well, Jung just coming out of the bench. You would have hoped to have got a little bit more purchase on that and take it away from Westlake. He couldn't.
He could have sent Westlake back to Oakville, where he's from.
It was nearly trick or treat, and it wasn't the treat. Oh, lovely.
Uh-oh.
And out. Nice idea from Hickey. Yeah, we did say, let us know where you're watching from. I've just put a note on there on the YouTube page as well. 3-0 up Canada. Ulze is watching from Hanover in Germany. I've got a friend in Hanover.
Yep.
Barry, Ontario for Bradley.
That's Bradley Bowden, number 27, the Bulldog.
Indeed, yeah. Yo, Brad. Well, suffering with an injury at the moment. One of those get well soon type of things. But yeah, wherever you're watching, if you're doing on the YouTube page, we're reading the comments on there as well here. So do get in touch with us. Yong Dong Shin sends it round the boards to Young, who then gets clattered for his troubles.
Oh, good
now
shot.
Gets it back. Young, can he get away from Armstrong? Clever, holds it up, but Armstrong picks his pocket. More Oliver Twist than twist and turn. And coming down this near side is Cozzolino. Slides to a hole.
Oh,
coming in
Cozzolino
high.
got hammered there.
Yongdong Shin making every second count there, and another check on the boards for Dunn. The 18-year-old from Wallistown, Ontario. Might be thinking, what sort of a world have I come to? Getting clattered. Cozzolino.
Cozzolino good to recover from that. He was absolutely hammered right below our broadcast booth.
You could see the little birds around the top of his head, just briefly, like Roger Rabbit. That's one for the older ones.
Yeah.
Henry nearly has it taken off him.
Nice play here. James Dunn. And Dunn's in his first game today.
You're talking about the pride of donning the jersey with the maple leaf on, and McGregor.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
I thought for a moment he was just gonna slide all the way through, and a bit of pain.
He's screaming to get off now.
Get me out of here. Oh, he's felt that, and he's just fallen straight over on the bench. He is in a world of pain, Lee Jong-kyung.
That's like when you watch the NHL and the player takes it in the ankle and he's hurt, and this one took it right in the kidneys.
It was actually Yongdong Shin, number 20,
Nothing
who
like
felt that one.
Nothing like taking a puck to the kidneys. Uh-oh.
Oh, here's a chance for the Koreans.
Oh.
It's just silly play. Silly, silly play. Well,
Wow.
Kim Jong-chun has turned his back, but it's actually the fault of Lee Ju-seong. He's got full line of sight across that blue line. He knows that the other guy can't see him. Why go over?
Just fire it in. That's all you got to do. You know, you talked about some of the stories and some of the injuries. Aaron Johnson sent me a letter a few minutes ago, and she's from Holland Bloorview in Toronto, one of the best facilities in the world. And a lot of these guys have done their rehab there. I've spoke there a few times. Holland Bloorview, I put it world class against anything in the world in Toronto, Ontario.
Officials calling a halt to that. 11 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock here in the third period. You get the feeling this one might just play itself out rather than the game being played. Hugo says he's a power player for the Antwerp Phantoms. He's looking on from Belgium. Thank you very much indeed. Chris Garner is watching from Niagara Falls.
Beautiful.
He's a 40-year-old rookie.
Niagara Falls, Ontario, or Niagara Falls, Buffalo? Let us know. New York, pardon me. Niagara Falls, New York, or Niagara Falls, Ontario?
He's about to go and start playing for the Niagara Thunderblades next season. There
Very
you go.
nice.
40-year-old rookie. Oh, Lahu. Banging into Lee Jong-kyung.
He doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
The international word for interference, cross hands.
Canada 3, Korea nothing. .57 remaining. You would be hard-pressed to put even a single dollar on Korea coming back from this, especially if Lavin can make it number 4. He can't just yet. Although that's neat, that's great. Oh, captain, my captain pulls it back. and Westlake is 3-3.
Westlake is. I've said it in game 1. I've said it in game 2. I have to say it in game 3. Catherine, Westlake's beautiful girlfriend in Oakville, Ontario, will be happy. Her man scores again. Number 3. Here's McGregor. Takes it, sees Westlake, slides it out. Westlake with a diving left hand. And with one motion, that's just a beautiful goal, Alan. Left hand, but on the dive, he's diving left hand and throws it back against the green. No chance for the goaltender. Westlake, he doesn't have to have a C on his sweater. He's all heart.
Greg Westlake makes it 4-0. The youngsters in the crowd. There's some cheerlead squads here, along with the cheerleaders that have been provided by the event. There are some young cheerlead squads here as well, and they are cheering on the Canadians, who are 4 to the good, without response from the Koreans. Somebody's just had to text Dominic Leroux and wake him up. Cosolino.
I'm laughing because it's happened to me many times.
Maybe take a book next time.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like that.
No, they wouldn't. He really has been a spectator. I wonder if he's had to pay.
Yeah, Coach Babby would be really upset about that. I know my coach for years, Jeff Snyder, he was mad at me
coming
sometimes.
in is Choi, sorry. Choi deciding that enough was enough over there. Took things into his own hand. Dropped back for Armstrong. Bridges.
You can see Bridges wants to to shoot the puck. He got sort of hook arm there, but the ref let it go.
This one gets away, but Bridges very neat indeed behind him towards Cosolino and back over the blue line. Chris Garner says Ontario. There you go. That's the right side for you.
All righty.
Someone watching from Coburg in Ontario.
Know that one well.
I think I've said that right.
Yeah, Coburg.
I thought us Brits had some strange names for places, but there you go.
Bridges fighting to get out. That was a battle.
He and Jong Dong-shin on this near side a few moments ago. On the far side, James Gemmell.
Oh! There's been some really big hits in this game.
Young Dunn has just been done.
That was a nice one. You take that one in the shoulder, and I'm telling you, you're feeling it for a couple of days.
Well, I think we're about to see it. Here he is, Young Dunn. Oh, elbows up a little bit as well. He might get away with that.
A little bit. You possibly could have called it. And Dunn is saying, wow, I didn't get hit when I was in the stands watching those 2 games.
Over to this right side, the cross-ice pass, but to no avail, and even some of the comments.
Oh, that's a big, a cracker, like you say.
Choi, it's a cracker indeed. Choi, a rib cracker. He's down, but he's slowly coming away from that area. Now this is number 10, Cho Young-jae. And again, the Koreans have got about as far as they've got all game with that passage of play and still don't get a shot away. Oosh, as they come together, Leroux.
I can't believe he's getting Leroux a penalty there. He is, but I can't believe it.
Well, seeing is believing, and then there's a Hickey and Lee Ju-seung
I was gonna
messing about as they're trying to get on and off.
I was going to say LaRock might be happy here that he might get a shot, but the last time there was a 5-on-3, Canada actually scored. He didn't get a shot. So, you know, you never know what you ask for.
Jang Jong-ho is over in the penalty box for that.
Oh, pardon me, I must apologize. He did not give the Canadian the penalty. He gave the Korean the penalty.
Yeah, sliding underneath, teeing as you would say, the T-bone. It was more side-on than that, but where McGregor, can he get space? He can now. Will he let go? Oh. No, he tried to find Westlake. It was intricate. Lavin causing problems. That shot from Hickey is well deflected by Jung. And now Jung has it with McGregor coming. That's a great way of dumping it, but he can't get there. Look at the pace of Hickey.
Wow. That kid is incredible. And I think you said it a couple of days ago, he also plays for Team Canada in wheelchair basketball.
He has in the past. I don't know whether he still gets a chance to do so. He was part of the team that went out to Rio de Janeiro in 2016 and competed at the Paralympic Games there. So certainly a multi-skilled, multi-sport competitor. Many of these guys will have...
Westlake didn't want to do it himself.
Many of these guys will have a finger in a few pies in terms of different sports. Oh, it's got all the way through and just rather bounces off Lee Jae-woong. The whistle goes. Schuyler says that, hey, I'm a Canadian, 4-0, can't complain. I don't think there are any complaints, particularly.
No. I don't think anybody's complained. We've just said...
Coach Babby has high standards. There's that.
And he should have them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you have, as a goaltender, go into a game and don't expect to get a shot at every game, you shouldn't be playing. A mascot walking around. Samsung, right?
Samsung.
Can't
make any calls from him.
Okay.
Riley leaves it for Gemmell. 38-year-old from British Columbia. And this near side, Cozzolino over there to help. Armstrong and strong arming. The Canadian number 6. Round the goal he goes. Oh, it went
sitting there
underneath Lee Jae-woong. It hit his sled, went underneath him. No goalie really knows where it is at that point.
Now, penalty's over.
They did much better this time around, the Koreans.
Yeah, they can look at the fact that they killed the penalty.
They certainly nullified it much better than previously. Choi. Cozzolino just dancing out of the way. Oh, Riley with the hit. The Korean thought that might have drawn a penalty. Cozzolino again as the Koreans look to make changes.
Oh, got away with one there.
Cozzolino still going. Cozzolino meet board. Hickey tries to play it into Westlake and neatly pushed away by Lee Jae-woong.
Puck's on a string, pardon me, with Liam Hickey.
Lavin just maneuvered out of the way. This is Tyrone Henry, 25-year-old. He's on. Chance for the captain. Only for the goalkeeper to smother.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be heading towards another little break in just a moment. The job is more than being done. It's pretty much done. It's Canada 4, Korea nothing. Back we go then. At 4-0. It's almost all over. I'm sure Billy Bridges there you saw in the face-off a moment ago will be eager to get on the score sheet. Westlake has continued his run. It's one in every game for the former Canadian captain. Gemmell slides, a stick slides. That belonged to Jung. He's been and collected that. Straight out of the lost property. Another attempted check on the boards. This time by Choi Kwang-hyuk. He didn't quite catch his target as he would have wanted. That one is just nailed forward. Cozzolino decides to leave it for Hickey, and that means that Cozzolino will get it next, but he's just allowed that to run away from him. And the Koreans can think about doing something different, but Bridges chasing hard, and Bridges in through the back door. Nobody watching. They haven't put the chain across, and Bridges has stolen it.
Heavy forecheck from Bridges there.
Cozzolino for Bridges, who deserves one now just for his defensive work as well. Well, that's nice from Jung.
Oh, Bridges got the elbow up there.
And then a big hit in the neutral zone as well, in the neutral circle.
And somebody in the crowd blew a whistle there.
Well, I'm sure that will be removed from their possession. As another big collision comes in. Billy Bridges is putting it about. Cozzolino has got it stuck underneath his sled. He knows where it is now. And again, you cannot, Paul, fault the effort and determination of the Koreans.
Not at all. Tip my hat to them. They're playing extremely well right now.
Oh, that's fired in.
And that was a good stop. Good stick stop.
That was a good stop.
Keep that stick on the ice.
Liam Hickey it was that hit the one-timer.
Oh, he got stabbed there.
Oh, and there's a bit more.
I hope somebody comes in. Hickey's there. That's when you need a Westlake or a McGregor. Guys have played the game at the able-bodied and disabled level. That was I don't know if we're going to see that, but he took the stick and you got a little bit of a butt end. And a butt end on these sticks, ladies and gentlemen, there's a laser cut spike. That's how they move on the ice. But if you take that and you want to use it as a weapon, you can use it as... Oh, he smacked him in the head there, too. That was a little dirty.
Well, just take a closer look at the things we don't want to see. Well,
he got him with the front of the stick.
Yeah. Well,
now if he did that same thing with the butt of the stick, he would have been out of the game 100%, and that would have probably been 5 in a game because he could have seriously hurt him. But the end of that stick is still going to make your kidney not feel good in the morning.
Kim Young-sung is removed for a couple of minutes.
He's lucky he only got 2 minutes there. That could have been a 5-minute penalty.
Well, people asking when Canada play again, and the answer to that will be Friday with this victory. No game tomorrow. That's the 7th, 8th place playoff, and then it will be the...
Here it is
again. Here it is again, just having a quick look.
Oh,
into the ribs.
Yeah.
Well,
he's very lucky, number 12, that you're still in this game.
So, just again, tomorrow, the 2 quarterfinal games. Well, Canada and the USA won't play in the quarterfinals. They get to bye all the way through to the semi-finals, which take place on Friday under the new format. So that's when you'll see them next.
You know what? I wouldn't be totally surprised if the director of referees didn't look at that, Jonathan Morrison, and there can still be suspensions outside just because the referee missed it in a game. That could be something looked at.
Korea will finish this game with a defeat, but they'll also finish just about with one less player. That penalty will take them pretty much to the end of the 4th period. So Canada have a chance, well, unless they score, of course, to just play with the Koreans for a moment. Chance for Hickey. Oh, he's rifled that.
Wow.
He nearly got done for speeding.
Wow, this kid's playing great, Hickey.
Well, when your tail's up, you think you can do anything, and at the moment, Liam Hickey playing like he's unbeatable, and at the moment, that's how it feels to him. So McGregor neatly onto the left. Didn't really get the purchase that he would have wanted in the shot.
Canada moving the puck around like the Harlem Globetrotters, if you remember. Great bomb pass from Larocque.
Given away in the neutral zone, though, and Jung will use his speed to try and get past Hickey. I tell you what, that'd be an interesting race, line to line, wouldn't it? Hickey and Jung.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd take there. It'd be close.
Stick Bridges in the mix as well, I suppose. McGregor turns.
Give it to Billy, and he's going to let it go.
McGregor's going to just hold on to it himself, and he tries to pick out the top corner. That one's pulled back from behind the goal, and in comes McGregor again, and it might make its way to Westlake. It does eventually. Armstrong back down the line. He just leaves it for Armstrong in the end. The penalty's over. The game's nearly over. Is there one more here for the Canadians? And is there going to be another penalty?
Armstrong with a...
Well, Bridges getting involved, and Armstrong and McGregor there as well.
And this is where Coach Babby's probably yelling, back away, boys. We got nothing to lose. Nothing to gain, pardon me, but a lot to lose if somebody does something silly out there.
Well, another penalty being called.
It's a charge. Somebody's getting a charge. I'm not going to say who because there were so many around that.
Kim Young-sung, number 12. He's heading. Now he's the guy that's literally.
Oh, and he hit him again.
Well, that's him out of the game. Well, that's silly. Because they've got a tough quarterfinal coming up. They really have. And, well, the linesman has gone over, and like you say, that might get reviewed. I'm pretty. He's just come out of the box.
That doesn't make sense. He's the one that gave him the good shot. Comes out. Luckily, he didn't get 5, and then he does that. I don't get it. You're not going to do that against the Canadians or Americans and win. It's not going to happen.
Well, bit of the rough stuff, and of course, there's always the potential that these teams may meet again. And well, the buzzer has gone. The end of the game is here, and you get the sense that the Koreans will treat that as a partial victory. Just the 4 being conceded. I will admit that Paul Rosen thought that Canada would win by, I think, 6-0. So it's not far away.
No, but I call the first one. I got to take my dues because I never get them. They did get the shutout. I said Larocque would get the shutout. Now that might have been an easy call. He only had 2 shots on net. He fell asleep twice though.
Canada 4, Korea nothing. Larocque has had to put his pillow back away so that he can go and line up for the Player of the Game awards.
Want to take a shot at it? It's not going to be the Korean goalie, I'll tell you that much.
It's not going to be Korean number 12 either. McGregor, Lavin, Hickey and Westlake, as you can see, are the scorers in this one. Hickey for Canada. But we'll...
oh, he didn't even realize it.
Lavin, there you go.
Lavin wins it, and he goes, did they say me? All right.
Well, Lavin with his second goal of the tournament. So that's him collecting the award for the Canadian team. Take a pic here. And they've just given it to the guy who has just spent nigh on 4 minutes in the penalty. You can't write this.
Oh, my God. He could get suspended. That would be the great thing. Get suspended for a play, a stab, a dirty, dirty stab. The referee didn't called the 2-minute penalty. It could have been a 5-minute game. He could get suspended for that, and he wins the Player of the Game.
Well,
I think we got to figure out who's calling the Player of the Games because this game is incredible. It's given me a second life. I love it, but that's ridiculous.
Hey, guys watching on the YouTube page, why don't you give us your players of the game if you can, if you want to. Join us now. We're on for a couple more minutes, so certainly through the anthems. Why don't you let us know who your player of the games was as well. Here comes the Canadian anthem. Well, there you go, the Canadian anthem for the second time so far in this tournament. After victory 14-2 against Norway, they can say that it's double victories and securing second place, barring a surprise, Norway versus the USA. You would imagine that Canada will stay in second position in Group A. So they will go on to the semi-final.
Canada will definitely want to hear that anthem 2 more times. If they don't hear it 2 more times, they're not repeating as gold medal winners. So it's going to be, who hears the anthem twice? Is it going to be Canada? Is it going to be the United States? To me, that's your only choices.
Well, the players of the game are picked by the teams.
By the own team.
Yeah, maybe.
Their team picks their own.
They pick their own players of the game.
Wow. Well, I think that might be something we look at down in the future that have that not done. Maybe an outstanding third party pick it.
Apparently, it's fairly traditional to have the team pick their own player of the game.
Have the broadcasters who've watched the game pick it. Somebody other than the guys on their own team that are watching it. Because that, to me, that I don't know. I just don't get it.
Well, apparently that's how it's always been. There you go. So the picks of the players of the game, that's that one sorted. We're here to answer whatever questions we can ask. It's all right, everybody that knows the sport inside and out. Our job isn't just to talk to those, it's to talk to those that perhaps are interested or newcomers, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, a 40-year-old rookie. Let's teach them all about the game, shall we? And that's just what we will do. What else we'll do is we'll go and have a look at these highlights, Paul.
Here's McGregor's, he's coming down. That was the one that definitely the Korean goalie should have had. This is Lavin's goal. Again, pulled him the wrong way. Westlake with a beautiful pass here. And that's just practice. The Korean goalie has to work on that. He went the wrong way. This is Hickey with a bust out of speed. Left hand, right hand, back to the left hand. Here it is, just a beautiful goal. Right here he goes to the right hand and left hand. To do that fast, that is just absolutely beautiful. This is another great one. McGregor in the back, throws it out. Westlake with his 3rd goal in 3 games, diving with his left hand and puts it in. That was just a great goal. 4 real solid goals by the Canadians.
Well, there you are. There's the standings in Group A currently. 2 more games still to come. USA will take on Norway. Italy versus the Czech Republic tonight. The battle for the top of Group B. The best game of the day will be the last game of the day. It's got the most riding on it as well. But for now, Canada go to the top. They've 6 points from a possible 9. USA would expect to have 9 from 9, and those two both will have some time away from the ice now. They won't be part of the games tomorrow. Thursday is a natural day off in the tournament. So the next time you'll see these two sides after today is the semi-finals later on in the competition. Friday and Saturday are the last 2 days of competition here in Ostrava. It's just about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in the Czech Republic. It's time for us to tell you that USA versus Norway is coming up next. That is at 4:30 local time, just over an hour and a half away. Make sure you join myself, Alan March and Paul Rosen. But for now, good afternoon.